Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. This question is asking about the Itikaaf, and they're performing Itikaaf, but the question that they're asking is, whilst in Itikaaf, are they supposed to stay in their hujrah, in their own sort of terminal, in their cubicle, in their tent, or are they allowed to move around within the compounds or the vicinity of the masjid? Now, the majority of the ulama have said anything which is deemed as being the masjid is the place of Itikaaf. Now that's important because some masajid are big and some masajid are small, especially in certain Muslim countries. You might even have a courtyard, you might have... If that is then considered as being the boundaries of the masjid, then the person is allowed to go in those places because it is still considered as being the masjid. A mas'ala in classical books of fiqh, is the person in Itikaaf allowed to go on the roof of the masjid? I mean, is there any kind of point in the person going? Well, the answer to that is, well, as long as it's the masjid, then yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَطَهِّرْ بَيْتِ لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْعَاكِفِينَ وَالرُّكَعِ السُّجُودِ. Purify my house, meaning the Kaaba, the masjid, for those people who want to make itikaf. Therefore, the itikaf is in the masjid. وَلَا تُبَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. Do not have relations with your wives whilst you are making itikaf in the masjid. Therefore, the itikaf is in the masjid. Wherever is the masjid, that's the place of itikaf. Therefore, the majority of the ulama have said it is permissible for a person to leave their hujra and their terminal for whatever reason they may have. Obviously, it has to be done for a particular purpose. We're not saying, okay, you can go for a stroll and you can go for walkies and you can go around socializing. No. And لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. In the Messenger of Allah you have the best of examples. The Messenger of Allah set up his tent towards his home in the Prophet's masjid at that time, on the wall that is sharing towards his home, and he used to dip his head over so Aisha radiallahu anha could comb his hair and groom him. So he used to stay in his hujrah. But when the time for salah used to come, he used to leave the hujrah and he used to lead the prayers. This is now dalil to say that as long as the person is in the masjid, they don't need to they don't need to remain behind within the confines of the hujrah. They are allowed to go in any other place inside the masjid if there is a need. So if there's a dars in one location, or the companions radiallahu anhum, they used to actually even leave the masjid to fulfill whatever needs they need to fill, meaning we're talking about relieving themselves and making ghusl and wudu, etc. And then they used to come back. So if that's the case of a person actually leaving the masjid for a need, then inside the masjid is even more appropriate for us to say that the person is allowed to leave his hujrah. The Ahl al-Suffa, the people who used to stay at the back of the masjid, they used to stay at the back and then they used to join the Saff at the front. So there are many different ways that the ulama have looked at it in saying that the person is allowed to go wherever he wants within what is called the masjid that he is staying in, and this does not nullify the itikaf as long as there is a reason for that person to move around in that manner. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who are devout to Him. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على محمد.